Hello children, I am Archana Mishra. Welcome to my classroom for class 10th. Today we are going to learn our chapter number 8, that is people and migration. Children, have you seen some birds? They come from Siberia to our country during winter season to escape from the harsh climate of Siberia. Siberia is frozen during the winter time. So the Siberian crane stay here for 6 or 7 months. Again, when summer begins, they fly back to their native land. So this is a migration of bird. Sometimes we see that some laborers, they move from one rural areas to other rural areas. From their own rural area, they move to other rural area to find some job. From North Indian states and from Northeast states, they especially go to Punjab during the harvesting time of wheat, because during harvesting time, the Punjab and Haryana, these states need extra laborers. So they bring the laborers from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Orissa, from all these states. They bring some laborers from the rural areas to harvest wheat, and for 3 or 4 months these laborers stay there. After harvesting time, after collecting some money, they again come back to their own village. Same way we can see some laborers move to Maharashtra during the harvesting time of sugarcane. They cut the sugarcane and get some money, and after 2 or 3 months they come back to their native village. We see some laborers are moving to West Bengal during the harvesting time of paddy. Thus we can see that laborers move from one rural areas to other rural areas of other state to find some job and earn some money. This is also called migration. So what is migration, children? Migration is the movement of living beings, not only human beings, any other living beings, from one place to another at a particular time of a year. Every year is called migration. So children, in our chapter 8, the first question is, what is migration? Movement of living being from its natural habitat to another place at particular time every year is called migration. So this is called migration. Now children, there is a case study given in our textbook, page number 101 in chapter 8 about Ramaiah. Why did he migrate from his own village to Hyderabad? So let us read and understand this topic. Dear children, Ramaiah had to go from one place to another in his village to complete his study. His village, Mugili Dori, which is coming in Chitiyal Mandal in Nalgonda district, it had up to 3rd class only. So he went to Chinnakaparthi. Where he studied from 4th to 7th. Then he went to Pedakaparthi, where he studied from 8th to 10th class. So 3 places he had to move to complete his 10th standard, and he studied from government high school. Then he came to Hyderabad to complete his intermediate and did the teacher training and got the teacher training certificate. And he got a government job in a government school in 1983 and posted in Nalgonda district. After completing his studies in Hyderabad, he was posted in Nalgonda district, as he was native of Nalgonda district. Again, after 2 years, he was posted to another village school. There he lived with his family. In 2004, he moved again to Hyderabad, because again he was posted to Hyderabad. For the last 10 years, he is not doing any farming. And his and other families who were living in Mugli Dori in his village, they also moved to other places in small town and cities in search of job or complete studies. Now children, we have another topic, measure and classify migration patterns. So when we read the topic, children, we will find out there are many reasons for migration. There may be social reason or economic reason or political reasons. Sometimes people migrate from one place to another for some social reason, to escape from discrimination in the society and to earn money also. Economic reason, to earn money, to get a job and earn money. This is called economic reason. And political reason, suppose there is a war. So now we have seen that Ukraine and USSR are engaged in war. So people, especially Indians, they evacuated Ukraine and came to India. And the same way the people from other countries also, they evacuated Ukraine and went to their own countries. So this is called political reason for migration. Now what is the criteria to find out migration? Which people are called migrant and which are called native people? So the criteria used by census to identify migrants, they are the birthplace of the person, where the person is born. If the person is born at a place where the census is done, then he is not a migrant of that place, he is the native of that place. And another is the last place of residence, where a person had stayed continuously for 6 months or more. So these are the two criteria what the census is taking into account. First one, the birth of a person, where the person is born, and the last place of his residence, where he is living for 6 months or more. Then they are not called migrants. According to the census of 2001, about 307 million people have migrated. Now classify according to the gender. Migration for female. Why female migrate? Especially for marriage. Girls, after marriage, they have to shift from their native place to other place where she has got married. So the female, the most important reason for migration is marriage. Male do not migrate for marriage. They especially migrate for employment, seeking employment, education, or if they have loss in business, or if they have some family feuds. Now children, we have given a table in textbook page number 103. This table we should read thoroughly. What is the total number of migrants? 30 crore 71 lakh 49,736. Now what is the percentage of migration? 29.9. How did we get this figure? We have divided total migrants by total number of population multiplied by 100. Then we got the percentage of migrants. What remarks we have given? This is the total percentage of migrants. People who moved from their place of birth to other place. In this way, we have been given migrants within the state of enumeration. Within the state also we have given figure C, and we have given the percentage. How we got the percentage? Just now I have explained you. What remarks is given of the total migrants B. These migrated within the state of birth. Now children, let us study the map 1 given in our textbook. Estimated measure net urban to urban interstate migration. Interstate migration means the people migrating from one state to another state within own country. This is called interstate migration. Now we can see children, we can see that the people from Bihar going to Haryana for wheat harvesting. Just now I have told you. From Uttar Pradesh also the people are going to Haryana in the harvesting season of wheat. We can see the people from Uttar Pradesh are going to Maharashtra for sugarcane cultivation. Again, people from Uttar Pradesh going to Rajasthan to find some jobs. People from Bihar going to West Bengal during the paddy harvesting or to find job in some city like Kolkata. We can see this arrow mark. People from Andhra Pradesh going to Karnataka. Again here 2 arrow marks. But vice versa we can see the people are going from Tamil Nadu to Kerala, and from Kerala to Tamil Nadu also we can see the arrow mark. So these 2 states the people are going from each other state either for cultivation or harvesting or to find some job. So this map is showing us the how the people are going from one state to other, from one rural area to other rural area to earn some money during the harvesting time. Now see another map. This is map 2, estimated major net rural to urban interstate migration. This map we have studied rural to rural migration during the harvesting time. Now this is showing rural to urban migration. Thus we can see the people from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Uttarakhand, they are going to Haryana. Again we can see people from Uttar Pradesh, they are going to Maharashtra to find job or for education. People from Bihar also going to Haryana during the harvesting time or to get a job, to earn money. They also go to West Bengal to find some job or to earn money. From these people are from rural areas, they are going to urban area to find job. Here also we can see people from Karnataka, they are coming to Andhra Pradesh. People from Tamil Nadu and Kerala, they are going to each other's state, from rural area to urban area. Here also from rural area to urban area. So this map is showing us the movement of people from rural area to urban area to find some job or to complete education. Now children, we have one more map, map 3 in our textbook, page number 105. This map shows us the estimated major interstate migration streams. The data is given for 2001 and 2011 during these 10 years. The 10 largest flows of interstate migration, including rural and urban migration, and in the north UP, MP, Haryana and Delhi, and east Bihar and West Bengal, with significant flows between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So here we have been given source is the broad base is source and the pointed is destination, source and destination. Now we can see here, this is the source, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. These are the source, and destination is Rajasthan, Haryana, Haryana and West Bengal. These are the destination. And from Madhya Pradesh, they are going to Uttar Pradesh. This is the source and this is destination. Now come to south. The people are coming from Tamil Nadu to Kerala and Kerala to Tamil Nadu. Now we can see the state GDP in 2007 and 8 in lakh crore. So here what is the GDP of northeastern state and northern side Jammu Kashmir is 0 to 0.2 lakh, very less. Now we can see very light pink color, the GDP is from 0.2 lakh to 0.6 lakh. Now this area, light pink we can see Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana, and these states we can see the GDP is less. Now see little bit darker shade, we can see Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. Their GDP is from 1.2 lakh to 1.8 lakh. Again more darker area, we can see Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, 1.8 lakh to 2.2 lakh, and from 2.2 lakh to 3.6 lakh GDP. So thus we can see, according to GDP, some states like northeastern states, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Tripura, these states are very less GDP, and Odisha also less GDP, Jammu and Kashmir very less GDP, and we can see in more GDP Maharashtra is coming, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, these are coming in high GDP state, and Tamil Nadu also is coming a high GDP state. In average we can see Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, these are in average, and from average to less, the states are Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Bihar, below average GDP. So thus we can see the migration, interstate migration from urban to rural area or from rural to rural area and their GDP. Now children, we have another topic, rural urban migration. Why do people migrate from rural to urban areas? Now if we read this topic, we will find the reason why the people migrate from rural to urban areas. Most important point is they migrate for employment, to find a job, to earn money. Where they live, they hardly find any job. If they find any job, the salary is very less and it is not regular. So especially they from rural areas to urban areas, they migrate for employment, to get a job and earn money, and for better income. They have a better opportunity. They can get a job in a good firm or in a big company and in an organized sector. Thus there is better opportunity in the cities and towns. So this is the reason why people migrate from rural areas to urban areas. So when the people from rural areas, they are coming to urban areas, mostly they are laborers. So they find work as laborers in an unorganized sector. Very less people are there who are getting job in an organized sector. Mostly they are getting job in an unorganized sector, like laborers, like hawkers, painters, and repair work. They get job in the repair work. They do work as shopkeepers, and they are rickshaw pullers and construction site. So now when they are bringing their family with them, the family members have better prospect. Their children can learn. They can educate their children in good schools and colleges, and they can develop skill. So there is also an opportunity for skill development. So these are the reasons why the people migrate from rural to urban areas. There is one more aspect. Some people are coming to the urban areas for freedom, for social reason also. So they have no discrimination. To escape from discrimination, what is very prevalent in rural areas, they are coming to urban areas. They find themselves very free. Migrant laborers are leaving their native place and they are coming to the urban areas. They have to face many difficulties. So they have to face a very harsh living condition. They have to live in a small houses. They have to live in a small houses without any sanitation. Sometimes there is no electricity, no pure drinking water, and no sanitation, and no job security. For few months, sometimes for few months they have to live without job. Now sometimes only male members migrate and wife remains at home. There are some kinds of migrants who come to the urban areas alone and they keep their families in the native place only. And when they earn money, they are sending the money to their family who are living in the rural areas. The money which the migrant workers are sending to the family members to the native area, this is called remittance. R-E-M-I-T-T-A-N-C, remittance. What is called remittance? The money which the laborers are sending to the family is called remittance. It is the source of generating additional income. Suppose the family is in the rural areas, they are also earning some money, but this money, remittance, is the additional income for them, and they also want to safeguard their right on rural lands. Now, how the rural areas people are getting job in the urban area? They have some contact and network. The agents who are already living in the urban areas, they go to the village areas who belong to the same community. They find the workers and they gather them and bring them in the urban areas. So they have some contact. So when this laborer or this worker is living in the urban areas, again they know the worker, the people who are living in the village and who can do such work which he or she is doing in the urban areas. They can also call the other workers in the city and town. So in this way we can find that there is a network, there is a contact and network of agents and workers in the rural and urban areas. Thus children, already I have explained you in the previous chapter that urban population increases due to three reasons. The people are migrating from rural to urban areas. This is the one reason. But this is only 1/5 of the total population of the increase. The main reason for the increase in population of the natural growth. The people who are already living in urban areas, their population naturally grows. Their population naturally grow. And the people who are coming from rural to urban areas, due to this reason population also increases, but it is only 1/5 increase of the total population. The third reason is the expansion effect. The big towns and cities, it is expanding, and the nearby small villages and rural areas, they have been included in the big towns and cities. This is the third reason for the increase of population of the cities and town. Again see the graph. Thus we can see children, in 1961 to 1971, for 10 years, 3 colors have been given. This is, we can see children, 6 million people. 6 million people is the given due to the migration of people from rural to urban areas. 6 million people we can see. This is increase in population due to migration. 5 million, it is due to declaration of rural areas as urban areas and expansion of rural areas. This is the another reason. And natural increase, we can say 20 million. Natural increase is the highest increase in population. So least is the migration effect and natural effect is more. So thus we can see in 1971 to 81, 10 million is due to migration, 14 is for the expansion, and 26 is for natural increase. Again we can say 13 for migration and 6 million for expansion and 35 million for natural growth. Again 91 and 2001, for this decade we can see 14 for migration, 13 million for expansion of the area, and 40 million for natural growth. So in every decade we can see that increase in population in the urban areas is mostly due to natural growth and then due to expansion effect and migration. I hope children you have understood the lesson very well. If you have understood the lesson children, like, subscribe and share my channel. See you in my next video. And one more thing children, it is very important to understand, know about the contemporary issues going on in our country. So children, in my next video I will explain and I will tell you about our present president who is going to take the office, that is Draupadi Murmu, and about her life and career I will explain in my next video, so that we can write something on the contemporary issue and you can complete your project and assignment based on my video. See you in my next video children. Till then, goodbye.